The next series of chapters from 2nd Nephi, chapters 14 all the way through chapter 24, mirror Isaiah chapters 4 through 14, respectively. These chapters are a series of God's judgments and also mercy. He also jumps back and forth between the end times and the meridian of time, discussing our mortal Messiah and also our millennial Messiah. As gospel doctrine teacher, whenever I have taught concerning Isaiah or the revelation of John, I have used an analogy of lasagna layers, with the layers which Isaiah uses between logical and typological events, or in other words, events as they were and as they will be. Isaiah goes back and forth from the destruction of Judah and Jerusalem to the destruction of Assyria and then Babylon, and then he uses them as types and shadows of end-time scenarios, or four end-time scenarios, all of which are followed by millennial rest, or as we read in 2nd Nephi chapter 24, now we're skipping all the way to chapter 24, verse 32, where we read, "What shall then answer the messengers of the nations, that the Lord hath founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it?" Now, why will the poor trust in Zion? Well, right now we dwell in Babylon. The whole world today is Babylon, and we have poor everywhere. We have classes of poor because we have classes of rich. But when Zion is redeemed, there will be no poor because there will be no rich. Or as we read in Moses chapter 7, verse 18, "And the Lord called his people Zion, because they were of one heart and one mind, and dwelt in righteousness, and there was no poor among them." So after this, these chapters in Nephi, Nephi engages in soliloquy before quoting Isaiah one more time, just to emphasize to the Gentiles in the last days concerning a desolation and then a restoration. And he does this again in layers, like a lasagna. Nephi then summarizes his life's work in the final chapters of his book, the most poignant and powerful principles and truths for us to ponder, and then to pray about before offering his final goodbye. So in order to catch us up to this year's curriculum, I will forego my commentary on this series of Isaiah's chapters and move forward with Nephi's final messages. By next week, we'll be closer to being current with our curriculum as we begin to dive into his brother's book, namely Jacob.